Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw the Armorer from the Mandalorian. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright, so quick disclaimer, I have no idea what the rest of her looks like. So I'm going by screenshots from the few times she was in The Mandalorian. Now, all those have been like from here up, basically there, like barely the skirt, you know. I know that that's there because in the screenshot I can see it, but the legs, don't know. So I'm gonna make it up. I'm just gonna make up some kind of boots and leave it at that, you know, because I guess it's not really that important. I mean, A, this is how I draw and I do whatever I want. B, it's just boots, you know. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to be that different that eventually when we get a figure, because we better get an action figure, right? I don't think it's going to be that different that if you're drawing along with me and you're holding the figure or you're talking to your friends and showing them, no one's going to be like, what's wrong with those feet? What's wrong with her boots? You know, I don't think it's going to be that big a difference. So I'm just going to draw a little bit of leg into the boot anyway, so I think that ought to be fine. The rest of it we're going to kind of make up, but I think we can get away with what we can see, you know? So that being said, I'm trying to find some good pictures. Again, there's not very many of what her armor looks like. And I can see like a little bit of detail to kind of give me a guide, but again, like I said, it doesn't exist, you know? So I'm gonna kind of make some stuff up. So like the fur kind of helps me hide a few things, you know? And yeah, so again, just, you know, bear with me. We're going to just do what we can with what we can, you know? And I know she got gloves on because she's the armorer, you know? That ought to be enough. Okay, so we're gonna draw a hand like that. See, I know she's got like this belt on because I can see that. So I'm gonna draw some greeblies, some extra little doodads, doodadicles, and doodadlies, just to kind of make up what I think the belts are. And then the skirt that's hanging down is just going to be like a layered skirt like this. Yeah. All right, because the big thing is going to be the mask, right? That's the part that's really going to really sell you. That's the part that's going to be like, okay, that's got to be right. And as a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do, yeah, let's do that. Let's draw like a dynamic pose. I'm going to have her arm up like that, holding the hammer. Okay, so that means it's going to be, I'm looking in the mirror real fast. It's going to be like this, right? The top of the knuckles. So the top of the knuckles, like this, coming down, like that. So the thumb's going to be across. That, those are over and in. So I'm going to make the hammer a little thicker. And try to make it straight. Look at that, I didn't even draw it straight. And a little more Again, a little more dynamic, a little more stylized. That's the word I'm looking for. A little more stylized. All right, this over. Yeah, I think that'll work. That'll work. So now the thumb, boy, my brain is just all over the place. The mask is what's really gonna make this, right? That's what we wanna try to get right. So let me see if I can draw something up for us real fast. So it also helps whenever you do your sketch, still draw the head, you know, like a normal human head, and that'll also help you determine like how big the mask should be. Because, you know, it's gotta go on a human head. So you gotta think of it that way too, that it's gotta be shaped to fit, you know, because if you draw it too small, it's gonna look odd. You draw it too big, it's going to look odd. Either way. So you want to try to get as close as you can for stuff like this. Boy, this is a great mask too. I think I might have to make one of these. I wonder if that would be a good video to do. But would that work? If I start making stuff, you know, like 3D printing or making out of foam and creating stuff, how would I fit that in? How would that be how I draw if it's not, I'm not drawing, you know, if I'm making something? Because I've seen some great videos on people that make stuff, and I'm a maker too. I make those kind of things when I have time. So yeah, how great would that be? But again, you know, what would I call it? Okay. All right, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. So I gotta come in here like this. That's gonna be like that. Draw the ears. And let's see, that kind of goes in. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, and then let's see, she's got the, let's see, there's one straight one down the middle, a couple along the side. There we go. And then the horns of plenty. All right, let's see, so there's what, 5? One main one. 2 on the side, and then these big ones, these bad boys. All right. Okay, I think that would be, I think that's enough. That would make it believable. Well, believable. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Okay, so I need to erase some of these lines, because we don't want, let's see, the feet, no big deal. But I just need a ghost of an image to draw and not worry about the pencil lines. Let's see what I can do for the mask here. We need a lot of it to go by. All right. All right, I think that might work. Yes, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to welcome everybody that skipped over to the Sharpie portion, and then we'll get going. Okay, so everybody get your Sharpies. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a drawing every single day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's in there too. I can control the line widths much better because it's a lot finer than the fine point, and it can find the things that the fine point can't quite find. Boom! All right, so I've sketched the entire thing out, and I've erased most of it, so it's just a ghost of an image that I can use. And now I'm going to start off with the Sharpie pen, because I'm going to go for the finer details in the mask, and I want to be able to control it much easier than I can with the fine point. So I'm going to start off with the eyes and then build my way out. So let's draw the bridge of the nose like this. Okay, and I know it seems a little wide, but I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna kind of go in and give it like a third dimension real fast. So watch this, watch this. So with the eyes, I'm going to go there to there. I'm going to come around. So I'm going to draw the eye sockets, then kind of come in and do one of these like that. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, and I'm going to thicken this up just a little bit. All right, I'm going to do the same thing over here. So let's see, it's going to come down to there, come across like that. Looks good. Cut through and do that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to thicken this up just a little bit, and all this is going to be colored in black anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. There we go. So I kind of gave it a third level beveled dimension right there is what I was trying to go for. So now let's just draw the mouth part. So I'm going to come a little bit lower than this right here. Connect it. Thicken it up a little bit. And same thing. Come down here. Connect it. Thicken it up. So all that's going to be black in there, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of detail just to give it some detail, you know, give it that fun. So let's see. So let's draw the first part of the mask, the defined visor to the mouth, okay? So I'm gonna draw the edges of it. It's gonna come out to about, let's see, let me double check. Yeah. So I'm gonna come to about right there. That's gonna be the side where it's gonna connect, like that. Then I'm just gonna swoop in. So it's gonna come across, swoop down, connect here. I'm gonna go ahead and thicken that up just a little bit. These are good, but it's sometimes too thin. So I'm gonna do the same thing, swoop it down over here, connect it, and again, thicken it up just a little bit. If you're using a pencil, you don't have to do this. It's just, sometimes these Sharpies are too thin. So I just wanted to, you know, add that a little bit. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of the detail like this. I should be doing this with color, but it's pretty nice that I want to add it. I want to do something like that. Okay, so now we're gonna draw the edge, but I might come back and do that with the Sharpie, the big fat Sharpie, in a second. Okay, let's do this. Let's just keep going with the eyes, the visor part. So it's gonna come across, come down. Same thing, we'll come up, then go back across. Connect them like that. And look, that one's thicker than that one, but that's okay. It's no big deal. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. We'll meet somewhere in between. So for the head, let's go ahead and we'll draw the rest of it and then see how I feel about drawing the thickness of it. So let's go ahead and just come down with the mask here, down to about right there. Same thing over here. We're going to come down. I'm going to thicken that part up. Then go ahead and connect these. All right, and as you can see, I am thickening it up just a little bit. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I switch over to this Sharpie, it's super thick. And I kind of want to match what's about to happen. That's why I'm doing stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to swoop that in real fast. Bring this in, swoop it in like that. And we'll go ahead and draw some of the ears, I guess is what they are. That's the best way to describe them because it's kind of, it's kind of a layered piece that I don't know if it is an ear or if it's like to help a helmet swoop up. But I know on Boba Fett, at least, that's what I'm going by. That's what I grew up with. That he has the little, what do you call it? Like, well, I call it an eyepiece because in the toy that he used to have, it used to click down in front of his eye, kind of like he would look through it. I don't know if that's canon. I don't know if he still does that anymore, but the toys that I had, it had that, okay? So there you go, just adding a little bit of detail just for whatever earpiece that is. We're just gonna call it that. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up the rest. I'm gonna swoop it over. She does have ears that kind of go into it, but let's not worry about that. Let's just swoop it over. Let's just draw the dome. And I'm gonna stop right about there because it does have these lines that come down, and so I kind of want to accent that. Again, I'm just adding a little extra detail, taking more time with the mask, because that's really what's making the outfit, you know. It's about this unique mask. So it's got this these lines to it that it's not raised up, but I kind of feel like we need to accent it a little bit more. So I'm doing something like that just to show that we're going to add some extra lines. So I'm going to take those lines, and it's more domed over, but like I said, I'm doing this for artistic style, just to show that those lines are there. Her helmet really doesn't have that many raised edges. It's pretty smooth all the way across. But again, this is how I draw. And that's why I just wanted to kind of accent those, you know? Okay, so I'm going to draw the first bump to her little horned head. Draw the next one like that, and I think they're all like the same height, or a little bit lower, So they kind of go like this, okay? And draw this one over here. I'm going to draw this one over here, and I think that'll do it for the helmet. Yeah, perfect. So let's walk away from that. It's looking really good. And I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie now. So I'm going to draw her armor and the fuzz. Ooh, let's do this. So she has fur on her shoulders, and it's because it's subtle. I'm just going to do something like this with the smaller Sharpie. I'm going to add like a fuzziness to it, but I'm not going to use the big fat Sharpie. So I'm being subtle with the inking technique that we're using, okay? And I'm just kind of making this up and adding, you know, just some fuzz, you know, some fur, I guess, because with inking, you can try to draw all those little lines, but we're just kind of giving the impression, and then we're going to come back with color and add more of it. Okay, so I'm just trying to do a subtle fur, something like that, just to give it, you know, a look. You know, we'll add some back here too, just because it's darker, you know, and we're gonna give it something. Accidentally went to the mask there. Oops. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch over to the big Sharpie, and I'm gonna draw her. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm going by. I talked about this in the sketch that I'm going by screenshots. That's all I have to go by right now. So bear with me if it's not, you know, 100% correct. But this is all I have to go by. So let's see. This looks like this is what's holding on the fur to her armor. This looks like the leather strap that it's all attached to, and it looks like. Yeah, okay, so it looks like it's going to come down. It's going to come down right here. It's going to go into this little Mandalorian design. Come down to the middle like that. And then go out to her chest. Like this. And then go over to the side here. Over to the side there, and it kind of come up. Then that's where the sleeves are going to be, and there is like a round edge to it. Like let's see if I can do this. Kind of angling the armor, you know, something like that. And it does look like it kind of comes in like this too. I'm not quite connecting because it's hard to see what's in there, and that may end up being so dark that you can't see it anyway. So, all right, let me kind of make this uniform. Again, if you're working with pencil, you don't have to worry about doing stuff like this. I'm doing it just to kind of make it uniform in the inking technique that we're using. All right. Okay, and so again, like I said, I'm making this up, so you know, it's okay if it's not 100% right, and we really won't know until they make an action figure, right? And they better make an action figure, because these are some pretty cool characters. I'll have to go ahead and do one more level like this, just to, you know, give it an accent, give it something cool. And she's got like regular sleeves, but let's build our way down right here. So I'm gonna draw the, like, it looks like a belt type thing. And there's little greeblies and doodads and doodiddlies that are hanging off of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Add a couple of these. Make a couple of those. And then bring it down like this. Like that. Bring it across. And I'm gonna go back with the smaller Sharpie and add some lines going across to accent that. And then this is gonna come down one more time, go across like that. Oop, always cap your Sharpie. I'm about to pick it back up, and I wasn't going to, but I just want to keep you in a good habit of always capping your Sharpie. All right, so I'm gonna add just a couple little details, a couple little extras, just to make it, you know, come alive, make it real. Who knows? The nice thing is, this is our drawing. This is how we draw. We're making this up. Okay, I'm going to kind of connect some of this just to give it a little bit of extra, you know, some cool lines to make it ours. All right. Okay, going to connect it right there. Again, just kind of making some stuff up just to make it more than just a flat piece. That's not connected. Okay, so from here, let's go ahead and draw the rest of the skirt. So I've got it kind of layered. If I'm looking at the picture right, it looks like layers that are like that. Okay, so basically like this out a little bit, like that out a little bit, connect. One more, like this out a little bit, like this out a little bit, connect. Now again, I'm kind of going by my sketch. The way I have her leg stance is kind of getting wider as it goes down. Okay. And what I was talking about in the sketch is I may not be right because I can't see from here down. The pictures that they show, I'm using screen grabs from the TV show. The pictures that they show don't show lower than that. So I'm making the rest of this up. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw her legs to the boots. We're just gonna draw like cloth, you know, to the edge of the boots and just make up some kind of boots, you know? Because what I was saying is you can't tell. It's no big deal. And even when they do come out with the action figure, which they better, I don't think it's going to be any different that, you know, you're going to be looking at your drawing and saying, that's not right, or you're going to be embarrassed that it didn't look exactly how we sketched it. No big deal. All right, see, so just regular boots. Let's add a little bit of finesse detail, like some folds from where this is cloth, we'll say, and these are her boots, something like that. And yeah, so it's no big deal, and that's why I'm just kind of making up what they look like, you know? Heck, let's go ahead and just make a space boot. Let's do something like this. You know, just some kind of our own design of what she might have on the front. Just something different. And heck, let's go ahead and just do something like this. Might as well, right? Just give it some space boot. There we go. So now we gave it, we did more than just nothing, you know? All right, so now let's finish her arm. I'm gonna have this arm just hanging down. So it's got like a shirt sleeve out like this, and regular cloth to her welding gloves. The welding gloves I can see. So I'm just gonna draw it hanging down. She's just hanging out with the fingers, just hanging over like this. The thumb's down here like that. The other fingers are back behind it, so you can't really see. So that's all we're really gonna do. Nothing too crazy. And we'll just kind of mess up the gloves, kind of make them a little worn and used because they're gloves, you know. They're especially for welding, so a little more detail, a little more wear and tear to them, you know. You've seen a lot of action because they're welding stuff. Okay, so same thing. Let's add some cloth wrinkles over here. Okay. So this hand I'm going to have up, like she's holding her hammer. So I'm going to draw this sleeve like we did over there, and this arm is up. It's bent. So imagine my fingers are arm. It's going to be like that, bent. Okay. So we're going to draw where creases are going to be, and then the edge of her glove coming in like this. Does that make sense? It's up and raised. Okay, so I'm going to add some folds, some bends, and then I'm going to draw her fist. And so her fist is up, and you can see the front of her hand. So I'm going to draw, let's see how I can do this. I'm going to draw the knuckles out like this. I'm going to draw the front of the knuckles like this. And then the thumb is over like that. And you can see a little bit of the like you can see this part. So we're going to kind of come in and wrap it like that, but you can't see the whole thing from the way it's angled. Okay. We'll connect that since we can now. And so now what I want to do is draw the hammer. And so I'm going to go ahead and just draw the handle. And now I got to think of where it's going to come down and draw the bottom part like this. And hope I got it crossed like that. Not bad. Not bad. And so now we're just going to draw the handle, or the head of the hammer. And so I'm just going to kind of, you know, stylize, do something kind of cool. It's a little tiny hammer. It's not very big. But I'm just going to kind of make it my own, you know, do something like this. And you know what, I got some thick parts and thick parts. Let me straighten this out a little bit. And kind of stylize it in my own, fix any little mistake I did, kind of hide my mistakes. All right. Just something like that, you know. I don't know why I made it so thin right there. But there you go. Just make it your own little hammer. So, yeah. And so, again, let's do like a little bit of wear and tear to the glove. Something like that, just to make it used, you know. And so I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is the Armorer from the Mandalorian. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.